Hello, good morning everyone. So আজি মই আপোনালোকৰ সন্মুখত আকৌ এটা নতুন টপিক লৈ আহিছোঁ and today I am again in front of you. I bring today with me one topic, and that is history a science or an art? So today's discussion is history a science or an art? So earlier I have given many topics, so you see in this YouTube channel, and today's one also you see. So let's now start it. So there has been a great deal of discussion as to whether history is a science or an art. So arguments have been advanced in both sides. There are various arguments in both sides whether the history is a science or an art. So arguments for history as a science. So according to Goldbridge, by science we mean a body of knowledge that seeks to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So what he tells that Goldbridge, science means only the truth, the whole truth, but nothing, only the truth. So in history also, what's the aims of history? So history aims to discovering the truth or facts of the past as what they really were. So history also wants to discover the facts of the past, what actually they really were. So like science, history also seeks to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So secondly, in order to understand, interpret, and explain events and natural phenomena as they occur, scientists carry out their investigation or researches following certain process or skills known as the scientific method. That means scientists to carry out their investigation and their researches, they followed the scientific method. So history also uses various methods of inquiry such as observation, classification, formulation of hypotheses, and analysis of evidence before interpreting and reconstructing the past. So like science, history also uses various methods of inquiry such as observation, classification, formulation of hypotheses, and analysis of evidences before interpreting and reconstructing the past. So again, some scholars argue that history cannot be called a science in view of the following points. Though actually some scholars, they given their arguments regarding history as a science, but some other scholars, they not given the argument about on that history is a science. So what they wants to say? So first point, natural sciences deal with facts which can be observed directly and can be tested by experiment. But historical facts cannot be observed directly and can be arrived at any indirectly through interference. Secondly, historical data are not available for observation and experimentation. Thirdly, experiment in history is not possible because it deals with events that have already happened and cannot be repeated. Fourthly, in history, we can neither formulate generation nor predict the future with certainty. But as scientist looks at knowledge from a universal angle and arrives at certain generalization. This helps to control the present and predict the future. So, history is not a science as physics or chemistry, but history is a science, but it is a social and concrete science. So, it deals with the experience of human beings. So, it is a social science. So, how we can say that history is a social science? So, you see, you listen. Firstly, in history, we have a collection of data from different sources. Secondly, a variety of methods are used to collect the data. So, thirdly, collected data is very carefully and systematically analyzed, classified and sorted. So, after that, next point, fourth, is the laboratory of history is the universe, the ingredients of which are obtained from various human beings. So, fifth, certain principles and theories are laid down on the basis of observation, analysis, and comparative studies of events. So, history is a unique subject possessing the potentialities of both a science and an art. So, as an inquiry after truth, history is a science, or rather, it is scientific in basis as a narrative account of the past. It is an art or a piece of literature. History is both a science and an art. The methods of each inquiry, mainly discovering and verifying the truth, formulating the hypothesis, locating the evidences, sifting the evidences, etc., are the methods of science. However, the material with which history deals is not observable or concrete as in the case of exact and natural sciences. Moreover, history cannot remain at the level of knowing only. The construction and reconstruction of the past are inevitable parts of history. So, in these aspects, the study of history becomes the study of art. So, at last, what we can say regarding is history a science or an art? So, we can say that history is both science or an art also. How? That one? History is absolutely, yes, correct, that is a science, but it not just like natural science, not physics, not chemistry, but it is a human science or social science as it is related with society. Again, we can say that history is an art subject because the construction and reconstruction of the past are inevitable parts of history, and in these aspects we have to say that we can say that history becomes the study of an art because we have to reconstruct the history from the past, and it gives us like a sympathy, love, emotion, etc. So, history is both science or art, and it is especially a social science. Thank you. See you again in the next topic.